In the winter of 2011, in the quiet streets of Gary, Indiana, a single mother named Latoya Ammons moved into a modest house on Carolina Street with her mother Rosa and her 3 children, hoping for a fresh beginning. What awaited them inside those walls, however, would become one of the most terrifying and thoroughly documented cases of demonic activity in modern American history. A story so disturbing that police officers, doctors, social workers, and priests all became reluctant witnesses to something that defied logic. It began with flies. Not just a few, hundreds of black flies that gathered on the porch windows in the dead of winter. Rosa tried everything: fly paper, sprays, bleach, but they returned each morning, their buzzing like a warning whispered through the air. Soon, footsteps echoed in the basement when no one was there. Heavy thuds moved across the floor, shadows drifted from room to room, and doors slammed without reason. The air turned thick, the atmosphere charged with something unseen but alive. Then came the children. The youngest boy began speaking to someone invisible, telling his mother about a shadowy man who would walk through his room and whisper threats at night. Latoya's daughter would wake up screaming, claiming to have been choked by unseen hands. One night, the 7-year-old was found levitating above his bed, his eyes rolled back, while relatives surrounded him, praying frantically until he fell suddenly onto the mattress as though something had released him. Fear began to rot the family from the inside. Rosa called local churches for help, and priests advised cleansing the home with oil and prayers, but the disturbances grew violent. In the middle of the night, heavy knocks pounded on the walls, water dripped from ceilings with no leaks, and the temperature in the house dropped unnaturally cold. The children's behavior turned alarming. They growled, spoke in deep guttural voices, and their eyes darkened during uncontrollable fits. When social workers visited, they saw what no rational mind could explain. One of the boys walked backward up the wall, flipped over, and landed on his feet, all while holding his grandmother's hand. The nurse who witnessed it fled the room in shock. A state caseworker filed a report saying, "This actually happened." Soon, Gary Police Captain Charles Austin, a man known for his skepticism, was called to the scene after multiple 911 reports. He entered the home expecting hysteria, but left convinced that something truly evil resided there. His voice trembled as he later told journalists, "I am a believer now." He described hearing disembodied voices and recording strange audio phenomena while investigating the basement. The smell of decay and sulfur hung heavy, and flies returned in thick black waves, crawling over the windows despite the freezing temperature outside. When photos were taken in the basement, strange mists and faces appeared in the frames. Child Protective Services removed the kids from the home, fearing for their safety, but even in different locations, strange scratches appeared on their skin. Doctors examined the children and found no physical explanation. Psychiatrists described the family as sane but traumatized. Eventually, Catholic priest Father Michael Maginot was asked to perform an exorcism. His first visit revealed violent resistance. The children convulsed, growled, and spoke languages they didn't know. One exorcism session at the church reportedly caused the lights to flicker and a heavy gust of wind to burst through the closed chapel doors. Father Maginot described the basement as a portal of darkness, a place where he believed multiple entities had attached themselves to the family. In total, 3 exorcisms were performed, 2 in English, 1 in Latin, and after months of relentless spiritual warfare, the family finally escaped. They moved away from Gary, leaving the house behind, and soon after, all activity ceased. Years later, investigators bought the house to study the phenomena, only to have equipment fail, batteries drain, and shadows move in recordings. Eventually, the house was demolished, erased from Carolina Street as though the city itself wanted to forget. Yet those who stood near the empty lot claimed they could still hear faint buzzing, like the sound of flies returning for one last visit. Was it mass hysteria, environmental toxins, psychological stress, or proof that something truly demonic once lived there? No one can say. But the reports are real, the witnesses credible, and the horror undeniable. The Gary Demon House remains one of the most chilling modern hauntings in America, a story where faith, fear, and the unknown collided inside a small, ordinary home that became a portal of pure darkness. And tonight, as you listen, remember this. Sometimes evil doesn't need an invitation. Sometimes it's already waiting behind the walls, watching, listening, whispering your name in the dark.